21 Pilots, welcome to Dallas. Welcome back, I should say. You did a couple of sold-out nights at House of Blues not too long ago, it seems like, although that was probably longer than we all remember. But
yeah, I mean, we love coming back here. I mean, this is one of our favorite towns.
So I told Mondo, I said I was on your Twitter feed today, and you guys had taken a picture that you were at the Mavs facility.
Yeah, that's right.
Shooting some hoops. Mm-hmm. So he wants to go one-on-one, you know.
Come on, I'm like, surely you had a scholarship to Otterbein, right,
yeah,
Tyler?
well, yeah, I did.
So if it doesn't work
Back
out
in
and
the
they
day.
came calling, they'd be like, "Hey, you still want to get in on that?"
No, I don't think. I think I lost it since then.
You could probably beat his ass in a game of horse.
Yeah.
You'll be good.
Horse, I'd take. Yeah, I think.
So congratulations on Blurry Face. It's
Thank
only
you.
been 4.5 months now, or whatever it's been since it's been out. But
Yeah.
look at the phenomenal reception that it's gotten.
Mm-hmm.
The sold-out shows everywhere. So you guys are on a roll.
Yeah, it's starting to feel pretty crazy. You know, a lot of times Josh and I look at each other, whether it's before show or after show, and think like, man, why are all these people wanting to just come see two kids on stage like play music? So it really is kind of surreal a lot of times.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's what Josh and I had always talked about. Trying to create a community of people that use the music in a certain way, and so I don't know, every time we get on stage we just get really energized by what we see out there. So it helps.
One of the coolest things on Spotify is that you did a commentary for Vestal on every track, and I was like, oh man, I wish he would do that for all of this stuff, because and it's kind of like the DVD director's cut where you get to talk about the songs
behind the scenes.
It's really insightful. It really is, because I think a lot of people, especially connecting to your music, want to hear more about it, kind of go a little bit deeper to see where you're coming from, because you'll hear a song and then you'll have your own interpretation, but then you guys are created it.
I think you hear a lot of artists say like the songs are saying exactly what I want them to say, and in a sense, I believe that, but I also think that's kind of a cop-out, because those songs were coming from a place at a certain time that people maybe don't have that information. And so I feel like each one of our songs, Josh and I could sit down for hours and just talk about one of them, talk about the recording process, or talk about just how the idea came up, and talk about maybe what specific, lyrical breakdowns would be. And so, I mean, we wish we had, the time to really talk to our fans every night. That's probably the one thing that's the toughest for us, is we look at how many people are out there that are just so invested in this thing, and we don't get the one-on-one, the FaceTime with them about what their story is, and we kind of feel as much as we try to connect with them on stage, we feel a little distant. So that's the one thing that we want to try to like figure out how to change.
So I know it's kind of all about Blurry Face right now, but I just for a moment go back to 2009, because that's the other thing about Spotify. So I go and I hit shuffle, and listen to 21 Pilots. And this song comes on, it's called Implicit Demand for Proof.
Yeah.
And the first 90 seconds, I thought it had switched channels on me or something. The first time I heard it. There's this most beautiful piano that comes playing, and then it kicks in about 90 seconds, and then your vocals follow shortly thereafter. But I was like totally blown away, and I was like, wow, because I had not gone back that far prior to this, listening to the very early first thing that you guys self-released.
Right.
I thought it was music from a soundtrack. Like,
I said, listen to this, you'll never know who this is.
No, and Jagger's playing it, and I'm like, oh my god, that is amazing. And then he was like, yeah. Then he tells me what it is. I'm tripping.
Yeah, I mean those older songs, I listen back to it, and obviously Josh and I look at some of the old stuff and think, man, if we were to redo that stuff, or now we have kind of the resources to capture the sound better, and like there's a lot of ways that that old stuff is really kind of I don't know, just really thrown together, kind of like our poor man's version of a studio that we had in the basement at the rental house we were in. But a lot of those songs, they captured that moment in time where we didn't know how to record, but we were still writing. And so I'm glad that those are out there to represent that time.
And Josh, do you guys feel like y'all are, here's this success. I saw you guys last year at House of Blues, and I tripped out because I've never seen the show before, and obviously your following was amazing. But now here you guys go, and y'all are blowing up. Do y'all feel like y'all are being pushed in a direction that you guys want to go, or that other people are like, we think you guys want to go this way?
That's a good question. I think as guys, and I know you didn't really ask this, we talk about it, and like, I don't think we personally feel any different. Like, over the course of the last couple years, and even I think especially the past few months or whatever. But there were definitely conversations that we had, even in the kind of like beginning of the writing process or whatever, that was interesting, because with kind of the first album, you kind of just do whatever you want, and nobody knows what it sounds like or what it should sound like or what they even want it to sound like, because they don't know who we are. With the second one, there's a lot more hands in the pot, I guess I would say, because
expectations are very different.
There's kind of like people who've been around since the beginning that want it to sound a certain way, and then there's like now there's like a label, and there's there is radio to think about, and there's like all these different things. So it's easy to kind of psych yourself out and just be like, we need a hit single, or we need it to sound kind of like this because our parents like this kind of music. We've got our friends and family too that are just like, we like when you do this, and we take all those things into account. But I think really at the end of the day, what's cool is that we kind of both just sat down and in the studio, as we were left alone. It was us two and a producer and an engineer, so there's like 4 people max in the room at a time, and we would talk to each other and just be like, we need to just do what we want to do and kind of make the music that we want to make
and live by it. I mean,
yeah,
there we go.
Because then hopefully we can do this as long as we possibly can. And we've run into bands that have been doing it for a while. They're like, we hate playing these songs, because we had to write these songs. And so, and what's cool is, we got a team of people behind us who are supportive of those decisions and never pushing us to kind of go one way or the other. It's just, they've been cool the whole time.
No, that's cool.
So Blur Your Face, I just made 4 words that sort of sum up, and you talk about this, Tyler, insecurities, self-awareness, doubt, and pressure. That all comes together when you're sitting down, and this is what the product is that we're listening to now on the new album. But without those things, you don't even come close to putting out what you have. So it's a curse, but it's also kind of like a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to write about, and as this is kind of like our second major release, or however you want to, classify it. The question is, how long are we going to do this now? Like, there will be a point where we will have no more to say, no more things to talk about, no more big questions we don't have the answers to yet that really inspire these songs. And at that point, I really want to make sure that we just stop. I never want to talk about something that's not real. I never want to. That's what attracted me to music songwriting in the first place. Was I was able to talk about things that, in a lot of social settings, is kind of awkward to bring up. Like, why am I here? What am I doing? What's the point? Those just big questions that you have. And for some reason, for me, and Josh, we felt like music was a way to not really answer those questions, but at least feel like it was all right that there were other people asking those questions too, and that we're kind of like in this together type of thing. And so yeah, without those struggles, without those big questions not being answered, you definitely have to ask yourself, like, would those songs even exist? And so it feels good. It feels like, when we get to play shows and we get to see all those people in the room, whether it's the people completely invested that like know exactly what we're trying to say, or the people that just casually like the songs, it's still a group of people that are kind of like-minded and on the same page as far as those big questions that we all have. So it feels good that we're able to make music that inspires people in that way.
And speaking of the fans, somebody on Twitter, Shelby Rena 97, said, how has the #click impacted your music and your shows? Because there's a thing with the people that love you and support you, but there's like this hierarchy out there of, no, we were here first. And
yeah, I mean, the people, they call themselves the clique, and in a sense, Josh and I believe in that group of people and consider ourselves one of them. But I think it was interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine named Jason, who was saying, this clique that people keep talking about, it's kind of the first seemingly all-inclusive clique. If you look at the people that come out to our show, as far as what age and gender and kind of walk of life, where are they in their life, it really does. What I love is that I get to look out there and see people from all different walks of life and realize that this is clique. It kind of, maybe the word rubs you the wrong way, like it's supposed to be exclusive, but I don't think that's what it really has become. Now, obviously, you get kind of the sub clicks of people saying that they have been here since then, and
Right.
then other people that are coming in. But I think our fans do an amazing job of kind of like involving the people who are just now maybe hearing about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm proud of them for that.
Oh, and definitely hats off to your fans, because there are bands with fans, and then there are bands with fans, and you guys definitely fall into that latter category. I mean,
Yeah.
they are extraordinary. I know you guys got to go. They're telling us that your time is
Oh,
limited,
yeah,
so
that's not true.
appreciate it. Yeah, that's okay.
No, it's fine. Hit us.
Well, somebody wanted to know on Twitter, Electric Jackie is my only question is, are they ready to get spooky? Which is another another whole story.
Yeah, so last year around this time, I changed my name on Twitter. I changed it to Spooky Josh. And actually really didn't have anything to do with Halloween. I kind of just did it. But obviously it like is going to come across that way because it's October. So I kept it that way through November. And people, everyone on Twitter, like they just
It's a
want
thing.
they want my Twitter to be a very specific way. Right. So like lately, and even more so lately, people are just tearing me apart. But so they're like, you need to change your name. Like it's not Halloween anymore, and change your name. So I'm like, fine. So I changed it to Spooky Jim. For them. I changed it.
Yeah,
and,
I got some tweets on that too as well.
So now, because now it's October, I'm getting flooded with people telling me to change my name back to Spooky Jim, and
you're wearing some orange. You're kind of Halloweenish.
It's it's themed, but I'm not going to listen to them.
Okay.
I'm not going to be bullied around
F
anymore.
them.
I'm not standing for that. Maybe I'll change it in November or something.
Okay. Well, very cool. Well, it's
Oh, this guy.
No, he does. Okay.
really
But he's faster.
faster. Okay, gotcha. So I know you're doing
I don't
tonight,
know.
and then you're going to Austin for the ACL. So have a great time tonight and this weekend. So
Thank you. Yeah.
and thanks
it's
for
gonna be
hanging
fun.
out with us here.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Thanks a lot.